Well, hello and a very warm welcome to St Peter Mancroft Church here in the heart of Norwich. My name's Edward Carter, I'm the vicar here. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock we have a short reflection. So if you're here visiting, do carry on looking around the church, enjoying your visit. But if you want to listen into my short reflection for the next few minutes, then that would be lovely as well. We live stream the reflection every week, so if you're joining us on the live stream, then welcome to you as well. Well, even if, like me, you've not watched terribly much of the Soccer World Cup, which is happening at the moment, I'm sure it's come across your radar screen that it's a thing. Huge amount of sport happening, of course, this time of year, as most years, but the World Cup is an enormous event. 48 teams this year, huge number, and it's taking place in North America. But it's nearly finished now, so if you're not a great soccer fan, relief is on the horizon. Just a few matches left. There was one last night, one of the semi-finals, and then tonight, a big semi-final, England playing Argentina. And then the final is this coming Sunday. And England have done really well, of course, to reach the semi-final. They've beaten some very fine opposition. The previous game in the quarter-final was against Norway on Saturday just gone. And it was a victory for England, but it was a close-fought victory, a narrow 2-1 win. And I'm certainly not a soccer coach or very knowledgeable really about soccer. But I did notice something very interesting about what the England manager, Thomas Tuchel, said after the match. He said these things: "We made life difficult for ourselves. We were sloppy. There were a lot of technical mistakes." And he said, "We were lucky today." He did also say, to give him credit, "The result is fantastic. It's amazing." And he praised the team's effort and spirit, and above all else, the team's belief in themselves and in their ability to win. But he did say those other things about how the team perhaps hadn't played particularly well. And Jude Bellingham, who scored both the England goals, was asked about this after the match by a reporter who I guess wanted a nice story. Jude Bellingham was told that the manager had rather criticised the team. And the player, Jude Bellingham, was a bit taken aback, really. He spoke about how they really had put in a hard shift on the pitch. But it made me think about what the manager had said. And in a way combining two things that seem to be a bit intertwined. Often football managers, when they speak about their team after a match, they'll be very loyal to their players. Even if it hasn't gone well, they'll be loyal. They'll say, "Well done, lads," in public, they'll say this, and you gave a good effort. But alongside that loyalty, there was also, in what Thomas Tuchel said, some honesty. Because perhaps England hadn't played particularly well. Maybe they really were a bit lucky to get through against Norway. And I was thinking about that combination of loyalty and honesty, and how they might fit together. Because if you don't have the honesty and you're just blindly loyal, well, it might seem all right in public, but things get hidden away and things are perhaps overlooked. Even if someone makes lots of mistakes, if you're just blindly loyal to them, in the end, it's probably not a good thing. Although in public, really, a manager should be loyal to their team. But it was interesting that Thomas Tuchel introduced some honesty as well. He gave a mixture of praise and of criticism. So he really was being unusually honest as a manager. And it certainly made it more interesting. I don't know how many interviews you've seen with soccer managers or players after a match, and you think they just have a stream of platitudes, and it really isn't very interesting at all. But it was very interesting to hear what the England manager said at the end of that last match. It almost made it into a news story because of that slight sense of conflict, perhaps, between the manager and the players. And perhaps more interesting than what Jude Bellingham said, which was a natural kind of, "Well, I worked pretty hard and I scored 2 goals. You could have said something a bit nicer." That was fine, of course, and understood. But Harry Kane, who's the captain, and a very fine person indeed, he reflected a bit more seriously on what Tuchel had said. And he said this, which really stuck out for me. We do need to improve, he said. We do need to improve if we're to beat Argentina. But then he added these words, speaking about the manager. He just wants to see the best version of us. We haven't seen that yet. We've shown it in glimpses. That's what Harry Kane said. He just wants to see the best version of us. We haven't seen that yet, but we have shown it in glimpses. I love that response. If I could get Harry Kane to come here and give a sermon, I'd do it straight away. It's a beautiful, beautiful response. Very thoughtful and very humble and very honest as well. In fact, I think a perfect combination of loyalty and honesty, which I was speaking about a moment ago. Now, of course, I'm the vicar here and my Christian faith's important to me. And as I pondered what Harry Kane had said about that outcome of the match and what the manager had said, I found myself thinking that, in a way, it reflected how God might see us, how God might describe my life as a Christian. Perhaps if I just repeat what Harry Kane said, but add it, change it slightly. God just wants to see the best version of us. And we haven't seen that yet, not always, but we have shown it in glimpses. I love that. I love that idea that God wants to see the best version of us. And we don't always show that, but we do sometimes. There are little glimpses of us at our very best before God. Because you see, God is loyal. We often say faithful, but really God is loyal to us. God is always there for us, never gives up on us. But God is honest with us as well, I believe, and challenges us, calls us to live our best lives, live the lives that he's given us to live. God really does want to see the very best version of us. And we do show that in glimpses, but I think God longs for us to expand those glimpses more and more so they become a full part of our lives. And that's what growing in faith and trust in God is all about. Well, there's a match tonight, the big Argentina match, and I don't know if you'll be watching it. I'm not quite sure if I will be, haven't decided yet. Every time I watch England play, it seems to be a 0-0 draw and very boring, so we'll see. And I'm not sure if England will prevail, because the opposition is fierce, but there is a great prize to be won to get to the final. But I do want to end by saying, I think that honesty and loyalty combined of the England manager is a great thing, quite inspirational actually. And I think Harry Kane's response, again honest, but positive, is also a beautiful and wonderful thing. And I hope that I can make that part of my life with God actually. And maybe that might be true for you as well. Thank you for listening to my short reflection today. We have these reflections every week, so if you're here next week or want to join us on the live stream, then please do that. And do continue enjoying the rest of your visit here today. Thank you.